In a small village surrounded by mountains, there lived a wise old monk named Tenzin. People from far and wide came to seek his advice, for they believed he could solve any problem with his wisdom. One day, a young man from the village approached the monk. He was known for being impatient, quick to anger, quick to give up, and always rushing to get results. "Master," the young man said, "I've heard that you can teach anyone the secret to success and happiness. Please teach me." The monk looked at him for a moment, then smiled. "I will teach you," he said, "but first, you must bring me a seed from the most beautiful flower in the forest. It must be perfect, no spots, no blemishes, no missing petals." The young man agreed and rushed into the forest. He searched for hours, but every flower had some imperfection. One was missing a petal. Another had a small insect on it. Another was beautiful but already starting to wilt. After a full day of searching, he returned to the monk empty-handed. "Master, I could not find a perfect flower," the young man said. The monk simply nodded and said, "Go again tomorrow, but remember, look carefully. Do not rush." The next day, the young man searched again. This time, he walked more slowly, observing each plant carefully. He found flowers more beautiful than before, but still, each had a tiny flaw. Disappointed, he returned to the monk. "This is impossible," the young man said. "Every flower has something wrong with it." The monk smiled. "Come with me." He led the young man to a small garden behind the monastery. In the middle of the garden grew a single flower, radiant in the sunlight. Its petals glistened with morning dew. "This," the monk said, "is the most beautiful flower I have ever seen. But it did not grow in a day. I planted its seed months ago. I watered it daily, removed weeds, and protected it from insects. It endured storms and strong winds. Yet it bloomed, not because I rushed it, but because I waited." The young man looked at the flower in silence. The monk continued, "In life, everything worthwhile takes time. A farmer waits for crops to grow. A sculptor spends months shaping stone. And a wise person knows that rushing only leads to mistakes. The power of patience is the ability to wait for the right moment without losing hope." "But master," the young man asked, "how will patience help me succeed?" The monk pointed to the mountains. "Do you see the river flowing down from the peaks? That river carved the stones and shaped the valley over hundreds of years, not by force, but by persistence. Patience is not sitting idle. It is consistent effort without demanding instant results." The young man nodded, beginning to understand, but the monk wasn't finished. "To truly learn patience," the monk said, "I have a task for you. Every morning, you will come to the monastery and fill this jar with water from the well. The jar has a tiny hole, so by the time you reach here, much of the water will leak out. Keep doing this until I tell you to stop." Though confused, the young man agreed. The first day, he grew frustrated. "What is the point if the water keeps leaking out?" he muttered. The second day, his arms ached from carrying the jar. By the third day, he considered quitting, but the monk's calm smile kept him going. Days turned into weeks. Every morning, the young man filled the jar and carried it back, losing most of the water along the way. Finally, after 3 weeks, the monk said, "Look inside the jar." To the young man's surprise, tiny green shoots had begun to grow inside. Seeds had been planted in the jar long ago, and the leaking water had been enough to nurture them. The monk said, "You see, even when you thought your efforts were wasted, something was growing silently. That is patience, doing what is right, even when you cannot see results yet." The young man's heart was filled with gratitude. He bowed deeply before the monk and said, "Master, I understand now. True strength is not in speed or force, but in the quiet persistence to keep going, no matter how long it takes." From that day onward, the young man changed. He no longer rushed his work. He listened before speaking. He waited for the right opportunities instead of forcing them. And slowly, his life began to bloom, just like the monk's flower. Friends, in life, we often want quick results, a fast promotion, instant recognition, immediate success. But like flowers, rivers, and seeds, the best things in life take time to grow. Remember, patience is not about waiting and doing nothing. It's about consistent effort. trusting that your work will bear fruit at the right time. So, if you're feeling discouraged because your hard work hasn't paid off yet, keep going. Your seeds are growing, even if you can't see them. Be patient, be persistent, and one day, you'll look back and realize that patience was your greatest strength.